Hi, my name's Yvonne and I'm an independent UK Stampin' Up demonstrator, and this is my second video showing you the Memories and More pack from Heart and Home. So in my first video I just showed you some basic cards and just using the actual pack from the Memories and More and putting some cards together. So here's a selection of the smaller cards that you get in your pack, and then they're double-sided, so you've got different patterns and you've even got some flowers on there and some even some little bits for journaling. You also have some stickers, and I've used some of these stickers already. As I say, that was in the previous video. And then from that you have some bigger cards, and I've only got a few left to show you because I've used a lot of them in my particular cards that I'm doing now. So on this one here, first of all, this video was inspired by May Made It. She's on YouTube and she has her own shop, her own craft supplies, and she sells her own products as well. She's in the States, and she was using a particular pack of papers that you would normally get for scrapbooking, but all the papers were what they call cut aparts, and this gave me the inspiration how to use my Memories and More. So she did a total of, I think it was about 108 cards out of a particular paper pack. I'm not doing quite as many, but I just wanted to show you another way to use your Memories and More pack. So first of all, I have a standard card. So it's the portrait way. So it's the either 4 1/4 by or 10.5 centimeters, and then it's scored in half. So what I've done is, this is called a reverse easel card. So the standard card, and I've made a score line halfway on the front and folded it back. All the measurements and everything will be on my blog. You'll be able to see that, and I'll put a link below to the website. So that's the first part, that you make your base card, and this cardstock is garden green. And now what I'm going to do is, this is the other side of one of the larger cards in the Memories and More pack, but I just wanted to use the wood effect. So I've cut it down slightly by a quarter of a, to give it a border of 1/4 inch, or half a 0.5 millimeters, and I'm going to stick that on there. So I'm just going to use my glue. And for this particular card, I am purely using stickers from the card pack. Now you can, if you want to, put another piece of card under there, but I'm not going to this time. I'm just going to stick it again. We have a reverse of the other side, and I've just trimmed it down slightly so it fits here. And then I'm just going to pop that just in the center. And what I've done is I've made sure that that lines up with that part there. Just makes things look pretty. So this part here, I've just used the large flower sticker and stuck it on here. And this piece here is just all one piece. This is the reverse of it. So you've got the garden green with the leaves, and then here you've got different patterns using the garden green. So the reverse easel is just popping that on there. Now you could raise this up if you want to on your dimensionals, or you could just leave it flat, and I'm going to leave it flat. I'm just going to make a bit of a mark where I want it. Not too bothered about looks about in the center. Just a couple of marks, that's all. And then I'm going to glue just halfway down. Oops, it moved. Oh, sticking it. Just going to let that set. In the meantime, I'll just rub out my pencil marks. There we go. And we have nearly finished with our first easel card. Now, from the stickers, I think I'm going to use this piece here. So again, this is the garden green, and I think I might put this on dimensional, so I'm just turning it over. And then getting my dimensionals. I might just use the edge of it. Don't want to use too much. Oops. So yeah, I'm just using the edge of my dimensionals. Just put a couple of strips. You can, if you go on, use thinner dimensionals, but I'm just using this. So all this is a bit of a stopper. Just pull that off. I think I pulled the backing off that part. That would help. So yeah, that's just a bit of the stopper. And then I'm going to use the happy birthday. And that can go just about there, and there we go. That is your first easel card. And as I said, all I've used is the items from the Memories and More pack. I've used nothing else apart from the stickers. I think that's a really sweet card. I mean, you can put some more little flowers on there if you wanted, but I quite like it like that. I think that was really sweet. So we'll put that one to one side and go on to the next one. Right, so my next one, again, this is the same design of the reverse easel card, but I'm using some of the patterned paper that's in the card, and this is the reverse of it that says "We Are Family." So this is where you can use this for your journaling or your scrapbooking, but I'm using it all for card making. Oops. Make sure it's got a good coverage. And now this time I have used a piece there, and we've got a piece there. Again, I'm just trying to line up the sides as best as possible. With this one it should be much easier. There we go. There we go. So now you've got a different look with this particular card. And here we have the Life is Beautiful. And I haven't got a stopper on this yet, so I'll have to have a think about that. I'm just trying to decide where I want to pop it. I think that'll be fine there. Again, I'm just going to make some little marks that I can easily rub out. Again, if you wanted to matte this, you could do with a different colour. I was going to matte it with cinnamon cider, but I forgot. So that's what I think I'm going to do now. Is I've got some cinnamon cider, which is this brown colour, and I'm going to use that as my stopper with possibly a sticker. I don't know yet. Maybe some stamping, but I definitely want to use the cinnamon cider, and I haven't got an awful lot of it. So yeah, something I might use a punch or something rather than let's see how that looks. So I might use that as a stopper and then have another little sentiment on there. Again, I'll use my dimensionals, and this time I can use the full ones. So yeah, just see what's in your stash on when you're creating these cards. I mean, I'm trying to use all the items from the memory and more. So there we go, that's the stopper. And then I just need to put a sentiment on there. See, we have the "we can get through anything together." Oh, we've got the "thankful for you." I'll have a think about that. I might have something else that I want to put there. But it's always good to get your cards prepared, and then you can always put your sentiments on afterwards. So that's the second easel card. And because I like doing them so much, here's my third one. Now this time I've used a different colour. So this is Misty Moonlight, and I didn't fold this quite correctly as I should have done, but that's fine. You can always work with what you've got. And this time I've used some designer series paper in the Pale Papaya. So I'm just going to stick this down. Make sure I've got the right pattern the right way around. I say it doesn't matter too much being on the underside whether it matches or not. But this does. So again, I'm just going to pop this on, this part, and try and keep the edges as level as I can. So yeah, as you can see, I've done different sizes. As I say, I scored it incorrectly, but that doesn't matter because I'm just going to be popping that on there. It can sit about there, will be fine. Better see them this better on this paper. So this is a really nice flower. It's got a nice beautiful day at the bottom. And I'm just going to rub out my lines. And then what I'm going to do for this one is possibly use this blue, the Misty Moonlight, across there, but I don't know how I'm going to finish that. I haven't made a decision on that. Again, I could use the happy birthday, or I can make that a little bit narrower or make it a little bit smaller. It all depends on how I feel about it. I think I quite like to make that a little bit smaller. See if there's any punches that I want to use. In my arsenal of punches. See, there is a cute oval punch where I can punch the blue, and then that can be the sentiment one. So I need to find a piece of white, and I'm going to waste that, but that's fine. So then I can use that, and then I can stamp on that if I want to. Just realised I missed the edge of that. Never mind. So yeah, that's another idea if I want to do it that way, of using that double oval punch. So we'll come back to that one and decide what I want to stamp on there. Right, now this one is called a double, what it's called now, double open card. I'll just give you a quick measurement for this. Oh, that's not good. Right, so this card is 21 centimetres, and then it's scored at 14 centimetres. So it'll be similar to the a standard card, but we've just taken the bottom half off. Now I'm using this piece here, which on the reverse is some little flowers, but we're using that piece there. And I'm going to pop that on there to start off with. And now this is called a double fold card because we have a card inside. So I'm just going to position it where I think it ought to be. I'm just going to make a couple of marks to give me an idea. And then what happens to this piece is it gets stuck inside. And this piece of card that I'm sticking inside is fresh freesia. And I'll give you the measurements. I can give you the measurements. So it is 17.5 centimetres by roughly just over 8 centimetres, 8.2 centimetres. And that creates a card inside. And then we're going to use this just a note. Now this has been cut down from one of the smaller cards. Oops, I've got that. So that was the original size of the card, so you can see how much I've cut down. And then that can just go in the middle. Put my pencil marks out. And then that's how that card is done. So all I need to do now is just cut a piece of white card to put in the middle on the inside, and then that's where you can write and put your sentiment. So that's a different folded card. That's not one that I've done before, so it's quite nice to see something a little bit different. But yeah, you'll be able to put a piece of the white cardstock in there, and then you'll be able to, if you want to, you can stamp or just write in there. It's entirely up to you, but it's always nice to do a little bit of stamping if you like that. So there we go, there's another card. I've got two more cards to show you. So here we have the garden green cardstock again. So we've got a standard card, and then we've cut a piece out. Let me just see if I can measure that, how much we've cut out. So we've cut out about 6 centimeters from the front. So this is what you're left with. And then we're going to use a piece of the this card. I've cut it down a little bit, and we're going to stick that on that side. But if I stick it here, and I know roughly where it's going to be. So I can stick that there. And here is the thank you, and I'm just going to position it a little bit on the corner, or at a different angle. Just like that. Oops. Shifted a little bit. That's the beauty of using glue. You can just have a little bit of a move around with it. Now I think for this one I'm going to put a couple of stickers on. Just basically these little bees. And then all we need to do then, now because this has got a piece here, you could use the piece that you've already cut out to cover that up if you want to. It all depends on what's on the back of this. If it's not something that you want to see, then put a piece over it and then it'll cover it up nicely. But what we will be doing is putting a piece of the white just behind that. So I'm just going to do it from the front. I'm going to make a mark there. And just a mark there. I'm not being precise with my marks, I'm just making so I can see. Just so it hides the card. Using my trimmer. And then all we need to do is I put the piece of white card at the back, and now I'm going to put some glue here. Comes out. And then close it that way. And then press down. So hopefully it won't have moved. And that white piece will be right behind the other piece. Let's see. There we go. Excellent. I am going to cover that piece up because of the card that I used. It has got something on the back, so I do want to cover that up. Let's see what we have. That is the piece that I used. So what I'll do is I'll just make a mark. And then cut that down. I don't know whether you've just noticed on my paper trimmer, I've got some yellow tape just at the back of where all the numbers are, so I can actually see them, because when they're clear they're not, I struggle to read them. So putting a piece of tape behind the back just makes the numbers pop. Just a little tip for you. Right, let's see if this works, if I've cut it right. I didn't think about that when I was doing the when I was using the paper or the card, but the good thing is it'll give it a bit more strength at the front as well. There we go. Might need to just trim off a tiny bit round the side, but that's okay. I'm literally going to just trim. Excellent. So there we go. That's how that particular card opens up and how it gets popped up. Again, you can stamp on there whatever you want to do. It's entirely up to you. But that's another folded card, and now we're going to do another one, but we're going to do this another way. So again, I've taken out that piece, so we've just got this little flap here, but this time we're going to be doing it on this way, on the landscape version rather than the portrait version. I'm using some of the cinnamon cider cardstock. Push this into place. A bit of trimming. And again, I've got another piece that I might not want to show. So maybe putting a piece of white cardstock at the back. But I want to put that down first. Couple of marks to help me where I want to put my blue. That's where I want to pop it. Stick that down. Now this piece here is a bit of an offcut from this card here. So always look at your scraps that you've got left over, any biggish scraps, and see if you can use it for decorating. There we go. Now this bit here where it says we can get through anything together is from a bigger piece of card, and I'll just show you. So I cut it from, I think it was from that piece there. So this was all one big piece, and then there was some extra bits, and I've cut those off and just use the middle part. So with that one, I would probably raise it up on 3D dimensionals. I might use some of those edges. Always use your edges and your scraps wherever you can, and then you don't waste things. position that there. And then again, if I want to, I can use some of the stickers. Oops. Some little flowers. Probably turn that the other way. And then just to finish off, I'm going to cover that part up. Just to tidy it up. It's just unfortunate that the papers I've used haven't got patterns on the on the reverse of them. They've got writing and things, so we don't really want that on our card. So again, I've not quite got that right, but we can always tidy that up. Press it down. I just need to do a little bit of tidying up on the edges. I should do it the other way. There we go. And that is another card. So we have a good selection of the card designs, whichever way you want to do them. And I've hoped this has given you some ideas when you're thinking about using your card packs. And you don't have to just make the standard cards. You can make some really interesting fun fold cards as well. So there we go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll have all the links below to my blog, where you'll be able to see all the sizes and everything for the projects and everything that I've used. Well, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.